Hi, everyone. Thanks for checking this out. So today we're going to try out a really interesting use case utilizing Salesforce, Data Cloud, and Einstein AI. And the goal is to explore a use case where we have external PDFs or documents, unstructured data. In this case, we're going to do an Amazon S3 bucket, but really the goal is to allow for any external reference being pulled into Data Cloud. So there's a number of steps to get this to work. I'm not going to go into huge detail on the how, just kind of the use case and the results here today. If you want to know more, I'm happy to set up a demo and walk you through and all that stuff. Just reach out and contact me. But so what I did is set up a S3 Amazon bucket, set up a Data Cloud integration to that bucket, and a connected app in Salesforce pointing to that environment. And then authorizing basically Salesforce to reach out into the S3 bucket to index it using Data Cloud. And then we set up a Lambda script that effectively, it was a PowerShell script that we got from Salesforce that let us notify Salesforce Data Cloud when there's a new file placed in this directory. So why is that important? Picture a scenario where you're a Salesforce admin. You're pointing, for instance, a chatbot or a Copilot to a directory full of manuals or a directory full of old RFPs for references or even old orders, right? You don't necessarily get notified when those things get updated, but you need Data Cloud to re-index it, and it's called chunking, re-chunk that file so that if somebody uploads a new file into that directory, they don't have to notify you. You don't have to go in and redo your indexes or your queries. It's all automatic. So that is going to allow us to solve a lot of different use cases that are very industry specific. For instance, menus for restaurants, product manuals for retail or consumer goods, franchise rules for companies that operate large franchises, right? I post up new rules, and now my chatbot can answer questions about what it takes to become a franchisee, as an example. So kind of sky's the limit with this unstructured data. Even healthcare, I could imagine, patient records. So in this case, I'll show you an example. This is two files I just uploaded into this S3 bucket. This is an example of the PDF. It is a random pellet smoker I found, which is incredibly complex and very capable machine. So I uploaded this PDF. I don't happen to have this grill, but I uploaded this PDF into my S3 directory just so I could ask it questions and verify the results. Now, originally when I tried this, I utilized an Apex script to actually go and gather the chunk from the Data Cloud DMO file. And I didn't like these results. You can see the result here. This is basically, I would ask it a question, and no matter what I asked, like where is the switch location, the best I could get was the entire chunk where it found something semantically relevant. When I originally started with the Apex script, it was actually giving me almost the entire PDF document. So the relativity score, if there was any relativity at all to my semantic search, for instance, the word "the" might appear in the sentence, it was grabbing it all and showing me the whole chunk. It wasn't really giving me an answer. And I felt like that really isn't what anybody's trying to do with a large language model. Good news is Salesforce came out with something called a retriever. So we figured out what was happening in the code. When you ask the Apex to go do the gathering, it was ignoring the prompt instructions after the data was being gathered. So in other words, the Apex was taking over, the LLM was calling it, saying, hey, go do whatever you need to do. And then control was not being returned back to prompt builder. So no matter what instructions I put in the prompt builder, like only give me one sentence, right? Stuff like that. No matter what I did, it gave me the whole blob, which wasn't very useful. So Salesforce last week came out with something called a retriever. And the retriever inside of Prompt Builder allowed me to skip completely the custom code. And what it did is it had a way to go out and retrieve the blob from Data Cloud and then hand that back to the prompt and the large language model for processing. And so I want to show you what that looks like now. I'll do this live. I'm going to ask it a question, search the PDF. Now, let's talk about the search the PDF command. This is a demo, and this is happening inside of Copilot, which really by default is designed to search knowledge. So there's got to be something I tell it to go outside of knowledge. In this case, I built it to say search the PDF, but I could have made it say anything I want. I think in a real world with a customer environment, we would probably make a custom component here, and or maybe even a custom Copilot that only did this. So that way, no matter what you did, you'd be searching that external source. I like the idea of the custom component, so we don't have to mess with Copilot actions. We would just call the prompt directly. And then you can leave Copilot actions for all the cool stuff that Salesforce is building out. So I'm going to go ahead and hit enter on this. Oh, dang it. Sorry, I got to refresh. Stayed too long in my Copilot. Let me refresh it here. But that's what I always do, Control C. So anyways, I've been playing with this for a long time, and that old prompt was actually from a couple days ago. So I didn't want to lose that. I wanted to show that in the video. So I just left it in there. But anyways, now that I've refreshed, you can see that I'm authenticated, logged in, and executing. So what it's done is it's gone out to my 2 different PDFs. By the way, one of them has nothing to do with a grill. It's for a camper van, a VW camper van. So it was smart enough to know that this PDF had relevance. So Data Cloud actually returned the most relevant blob, which is, again, that big block of text. It says somewhere in here is your answer, right? And then it handed it back to the LLM. The LLM summarized it, added in the numbers, put in very clear guidance. This is not how the instructions appear in the PDF. If we go back to here and go to the cleaning section, right? They're very, very detailed instructions, and they don't, they're kind of spread out throughout the PDF. So the LLM has done a really good job for us, kind of reading through the full PDF, finding relevance, and then answering my very specific question. My question could really be anything about kind of a subject in the PDF. In fact, let me do search the PDF document for, let's see. I need cooking instructions. Now, there are no cooking instructions for a pulled pork. There's no cooking instructions inside of this PDF. So I really want to show, again, kind of how the LLM handles this. I hope you appreciate this is live. I haven't done this query yet, but I'm confident in the LLM and the results. It's not going to hallucinate. It's got pretty clear instructions what to do, okay? So it gives me the clear instructions that are in the document about cooking in general, but then it tells me for more specific details and tips, I need to go to basically a source material. So some other source material than this. So this is all it could get out of my PDF document, but no specific guidance around a pulled pork, right? It's giving me the generic kind of instructions that are in that PDF. So again, lots of different use cases I think are possible here. I think the cool thing that I'm showing here, by the way, I believe everybody now has Data Cloud Vector Database as a part of their core platform, and you actually get a certain number of consumption licenses with that. So check with your Salesforce AE. I'm not sure all versions and all levels of Salesforce orgs get that, but it's worth a question because this opens up the world of use cases around AI to a pretty extreme level. Really anything you can ingest from an external source through Data Cloud you can leverage with now Copilot or chatbots or even FAQ instructions on your Experience Cloud portal as an example. So a lot of different potential use cases here that could really add a ton of value in the AI space. So my information is mark.m@rosetreesolutions.com. Feel free to reach out. I would love to chat with you about your particular use case and how we would go about solving it. And look forward to talking on additional videos around AI and Data Cloud.